After the entire world ended up being a massive firestorm of a nice, toasty 40 degrees Celsius, things are finally beginning to cool down again. Days are getting shorter and nights are fucking ice cold. For some reason, I've been thinking a lot about the weather lately, and seeing everything start to dial it back made me think back to my favorite anime of this year's winter season, which, as you can see from the title of this video, was Yuru. There are uncountably many things that I can say about this anime. Lots of them in a vain attempt to be critical, but a lot of them also pretty personal. How about we go and take a look at all of this? On the surface, Yuru Camp is a classic cute girls doing cute things show. This time around, that cute thing is winter camping, and our cute girls Arinshima, Nareshiko Kagamihara, Aoi Inuyama, Chikai Ogaki, and Ena Saito. Usually I would make some jokes instead of just listing their names here, like pointing out that there is way too much porno of Aoi out there, but honestly, this show is just too calm and wholesome for me to crack jokes about. Now, what's Yuru Camp about? Well, we start by joining Shimarin's solo camping near the base of Mount Fuji, where she picks up Nareshiko sleeping on a park bench. She's a little taken aback at first about how outgoing Nareshiko is, but Shimarin lets her stay at her camp for the night while nursing her with curry cup noodles, which are apparently a delicacy in this version of Japan. Over the course of the series, it turns out that Shimarin and Nareshiko go to the same school. They have a couple of awkward interactions, but mainly stay physically separated from there on out. Rin keeps going out to various campsites across Japan, sometimes spontaneously joined by Nareshiko, who herself goes on to found an outdoor activities club with Aoi and Purple Hair, who then go on to camp together themselves. At this point, I should probably note that this show turned into neither Yuri Camp nor I Can't Believe My Little Sister Is This Winter Camping, which I personally am very glad about, seeing how this show could have totally gone either way with how much time these girls spend close to each other. The show doesn't even attempt to make fan service out of bath scenes, even with the girls entirely naked. Instead, these scenes really just put stress on how nice a hot bath is after a day of being outside in ice-cold weather. As one myself, it's also great how the show managed to not really focus on Ren's introversion as a bad thing, or at all, really. Of course, she acted out her introversion and only warmed up to the group of the outdoor activities club over time, but nowhere did they state anything along the lines of, "Hey, Shimarin, I think you've been really unusually sociable lately." While still rather quiet, she simply becomes more comfortable around these people and is more open around them as a result. It's a natural progression of an introverted character that really nails show don't tell, which, from my experience, is really rare in anime. In almost any episode, the characters have text conversations simply sharing each other's winter camping shenanigans. In almost any episode, the characters have text conversations simply sharing each other's winter camping shenanigans, as a means of keeping the cast connected without needing a shared physical presence. It might seem that I'm going way too deep into the meaning of some simple text messages, but the show puts an interestingly high amount of focus on them, and during certain scenes they really amplify the comfiness of the show. Actually, I'm pretty surprised and kinda proud that I managed to not use the word comfy for the roughly 4 or 5 minutes this video has been going for now. Because man, this show is comfy. I mean, it's right in the name, which roughly translates to laid-back camp according to Crunchyroll, as well as the simple moniker Comfy Camp, or even just comf, the community gave the show while it was airing. This pure, simple feeling of being comfortable while you watch this show is helped a lot by the downright gorgeous art and amazing music. Of course, this isn't the only thing the show has going for it. Heck, I'd argue that the combination of both, the opening and ending, are major strong points too. Shiny Days is one of the best OPs of winter season, second only to Kokaku's Flashback, and tied with, if not even a little higher than Kiss of Death. And I would pay endless sums for a smart speaker that does nothing but play Furubiori perfectly timed to me falling asleep, so that the last thing I hear every day are those guitar plucks at the end of it. Now, I've talked about arguably critical stuff so far, while having said that a lot of the things I have to say about the show will be pretty personal as well. So, before I get to my conclusion, let me set the stage a little. It's the end of January and I've moved into my own first apartment. It's small and I barely make enough money to sustain myself, but it works. Now it's early February and I've fallen sick to the point of putting me out of commission for the whole month. Additionally, my training has been going downhill for months at that point, and it's had massive negative effects on my school performance. Quickly after, my boss passed away, and I couldn't find a replacement employer to continue my training. So now I was jobless, with a failed education recovering from an infection. While I did get a lot of support from my parents and grandparents over this period of time, it was still quite the struggle, mainly one my brain completely made up, but a struggle nonetheless. With me having found a lot of free time in this time frame, I decided for the first time to follow seasonal anime and ended up following Beatless, Darling in the Franxx, Violet Evergarden, and Yuru Camp. I enjoyed all of these, but there was always that lingering, totally made up existential dread in the back of my mind, even while watching anime, except for the one we're here to talk about today. Yuru Camp always managed to simply wash away all those fears and worries and allowed me to simply relax or have fun along with its characters. It almost became a ritual to simply sit down in front of my laptop hooked up to the TV each week, wrapped in a blanket with an oven pizza or some curry and cup noodles, and just join these 5 girls having fun going out winter camping. People often laugh about it when others say that a piece of media has heavily changed their lives for the better during a dark period. While trying to not discredit the people claiming such, I was one of those, until it happened to myself very recently, with Yuru Camp. There are so incredibly many more things I could talk about with this show. How it teaches the viewer some nice little facts about camping every now and then. How the show truly goes full circle with Nadeshiko deciding to try out solo camping herself at the campsite she originally met Shimarin at, so far as to exactly mirroring the shots from episode 1 passed through time. But I think it's better if you find out all those by yourself if you haven't already. On my trademarked recommendability without affinities chart, I would give the show 9 out of 10 points. But all in all, I give Yuru Camp a literally off the charts 6 and a tasty, self-made hot pot cooked over the campfire. Hi there, I just want to quickly excuse myself for not making a video about my anime of the season for summer. You see, summer was a really flaccid showing in my opinion. There were a lot of shows I enjoyed and saw potential in, but I only finished one of them at this point, and fall season is not much of a motivator to finish them either with how amazing of a season it is. I might get back to summer in a future video however, so until then, I hope you had fun with this as a replacement. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and see you next time. Bisa, out.